it. People tell me that I'm crazy. I tell them that's exactly it. I've got reasons for my...
Hi guys, welcome back to the I Love You So Much podcast. I am your host, Kenzie Elizabeth, and I am currently having a great Monday morning. And let me tell you why. First off, start off my morning with an early morning core power class. And I'm telling you, there's nothing that gets me in a better mood than a 7 a.m. workout. And I know that probably sounds so incredibly annoying. And I'm annoyed with myself as I say it, but I'm just telling you guys, like, there is nothing that cures all of my life problems like an early morning workout. And 7 may not be that early to you. 6 for me is really pushing it. Like, I'll do that once or twice a week if a friend drags me. But a 7 to me is perfect. The second being that I am in a studio currently in Dallas. If you guys are watching on YouTube, you guys are currently seeing this. Up until now on YouTube, we've really just been putting the interview portion of the episode, or the conversation, if you will. And now we've got the whole thing start to finish. We're doing listener call-in at the end. We're doing the intro. I mean, it's going to be quite, what's the word I'm looking for? Fabulous, if you will. I'm going to bring back fabulous, okay? Today's episode is very exciting. We have Drew McDonald, or drumaq, on the show. I'm going to talk about him later. He's one of my favorite people. I have known him, I think I'm running on 6 years of knowing him at this point. He is one of the most incredible people, and I'm just so glad that he's finally coming on, and you guys will love the conversation, and he's just absolutely perfect in every single way. So we'll get to that shortly. I want to do a little bit of a weekend recap because I learned something, and I've been thinking about it all morning. So I have been, out and about, hitting the town, really, I've been booked and I've been busy, vaxxed and waxed, whatever slogan, saying you're going with right now. That is currently me. Like, I have never had FOMO until this year, so I am everywhere. I'm also just having fun, and I'm 24 now, which is crazy, but I've just been really quite the social butterfly. And I have a really busy month ahead. I have a lot on my plate right now, and I'm going on 2, potentially 3 trips. I'll be in New York later this month. There's just a lot going on in the month of August, and so I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to be responsible, and I'm going to stay in this weekend. It is my second weekend in the past 8 months, actually, now that I really am doing the math, of, staying home and not going out both nights. And I thought I was being responsible. I really did. I thought that I was doing the right thing for myself, and that I would come into Monday and this week just feeling so prepared and on top of it. And what I have come to realize is that, and here's what I have learned about this. I always say that rest isn't necessarily just laying around. It's doing things that refuel you. And I think that going to dinner and hanging out with my friends and being a normal 20-something-year-old at this point in my life is actually refueling me. And maybe it didn't in years past, but I have to say, I think I should have just gone and hung out with my friends all weekend. I did see a friend and we were really chill, and I just didn't do that much, but just laying at home all weekend and being chill didn't really refuel me. So I actually take back everything that I said. I don't think that was a responsible thing. I actually think that I should have gone out and hung out with my friends, because then maybe I would be feeling better on this Monday morning. So that's what I've learned. Rest is different than being lazy. I will say though, I had a crazy case of the Sunday scaries last night that I don't always get those, but I think I get them a lot when I know I'm traveling, and I've noticed that I'm getting a lot more travel anxiety than I have in the past, and it's more so just like workload anxiety than it is like, I don't have anxiety getting on a plane, but I do have anxiety, I think, maybe messing up my routine. I don't know. I love being home. I'm not quite sure, but I definitely get a little bit of travel anxiety. And I am traveling this week, and there's just a lot going on. And on Sunday, I was so anxious. I had the worst case of the Sunday scaries ever. I went to bed at 5 p.m. and I read 2 Colleen Hoover books. Okay, they're the novellas, or I don't even know how that's how you say it, sorry. They're the short stories. I think they're like 150 pages each or something. I read 2 of them, and then I started a new Colleen Hoover book. I believe it's the last one of hers that I haven't read, and I'm at 75% of it. Like, that is how much I read and how much I needed to read to get rid of my Sunday scaries. If you have Sunday scaries, pick up a Colleen Hoover book. There's no comfort like a Colleen Hoover book, and it really cured all of my problems. I do also want to say I started listening to Dolly Parton's America, which I know it is shocking that I haven't listened to this before, because I quite literally am the biggest Dolly Parton fan in America. I mean, there's just no one who loves Dolly more than me. I really believe that, and I'll stand on. That's the hill that I choose to die on. Anyways, I started it. It's really incredible. There's 9 episodes, and it goes back and it goes through her life, her career, and past interviews, and I just love her. She's a queen. So anyways, Okay, guys, a little bit of homework, housekeeping, if you will. The first thing being that I started a group message on Geneva. My friend Maddie from OKSIS and Scout and Maddie on OKSIS talk about it, but Maddie mentioned this in a vlog, and I was thinking, wow, this is even better than our Facebook group. So if you guys want to join our group chat, we currently have 4 different ones, and there's different like subcategories and stuff. Right now we have one that's just normal Kenzie Elizabeth stuff. We also have one, which I'll talk about in a second, for the brand that I'm starting and the newsletter that I'm starting. We have one for Dallas girls. We have one for business stuff. I mean, we can make different categories. If you guys are looking for community, make friends, join us, hang out with us all the time. I mean, I'm literally in that group chat like every single day. I think I talk in it more than anyone else. I will have that in the show notes below. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. The second thing being the O Kind, which is a brand that my friend Justin and I are starting. And instead of waiting until launch, we've just been talking about it in posting, and we're really going to take you guys along the journey. And that's a risk talking about it early on. But yeah, I'm going to talk about it a little bit more in next week's intro, and you guys will get more with that. But we want you guys to be as involved as possible. So again, join the Geneva group chat, follow us on TikTok and Instagram. I promise you guys will love what we're coming out with, and just the overall brand. I'm very excited. I have not been this excited for a work endeavor in a long time, and that's saying something because I'm incredibly passionate about work. So that doesn't mean that I'm any less passionate about what I'm doing, but I'm very passionate about the O Kind, and I'm very excited. Okay, I also started a new newsletter. So we have the I Love You So Much podcast newsletter that you guys can sign up for, and every week you guys get the podcast episode, all the links to everything we talk about, the links to the YouTube video, the guest, and then we also have timestamps. So if you guys are looking for certain questions to be answered and things like that, that is on the email. But I started a different one called Question for the Class, and this is all about navigating your 20s. I talk all the time about how your 20s are really confusing and really hard and very difficult and uncertain. And I obviously don't know really anything. I'm 24. It's not one where I'm coming at it in the way of like, I know everything, listen to me, but it's more so a conversation and just things that I've been learning, thoughts that I've been having. I don't know. I read a lot. I listen to a lot of podcasts. It's really just navigating your 20s, but more so from the perspective of being your friend rather than someone who knows it all and has it together. So I will also have that down below. I also hired an assistant, everyone. This is very exciting. I have been needing to do this for at least a year, and I finally did it. I'm very excited. Updates to come with that. But anyways, with that being said, we are going to get into today's episode. I know the intro was a little bit long, but I just really needed to chat and catch up with you guys. Today, we have Drew McDonald on, or drumaq. He is a musician. He is a writer. I mean, he's just one of the most incredible human beings in the entire world. I adore him. You guys will be able to tell that on the episode. I just love him. He's actually opening for his best friend, Olivia O'Brien. I don't know when that tour starts, but soon. I'll be at the Dallas stop for sure. So be sure to get tickets, follow him, listen to his music. I mean, he's just incredible and I love him so much. So without further ado, let's get started with the episode. I'm so glad that we're back together.
I'm so glad.
I've known you probably for 6 years now. 5-6 years.
Yeah.
OG. Back when you were a FIDM baby.
Oh my, is that when we met?
Yeah. Beauty baby.
Yeah.
44.
She's definitely the reason why we're sitting here today.
Yeah, we have
Shout out Lindsay.
we have to give credit, and we also, while we're giving the shout outs, we just wanted to shout out our good friend Emily June. Just because we love her.
We love you so much. I know she's listening to this. She's probably going to be the first listener. So, hey, girl.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, so, yeah, we've known each other for forever.
Yeah.
Something we were talking about before we started recording was Drew used to live in this house on Federal. People would call it the Federal.
It was the Federal house.
Yeah, the Federal house. Mm-hmm. You guys really were the OG content house.
Yeah, which is funny because content houses are like such a thing now, and back then it just wasn't a thing, but we kind of had our own little situation going. Yeah. It was me, Jack, Lexi, and Claudia, and then Lexi moved out and Maddie Bragg moved in. And
didn't Olivia move in at some point?
Olivia moved in, and before we were there, it was like Arden, Jen,
Lauren,
Andrea. Like it was just this like crazy 5 years of just creators in one house.
That's like a memory unlocked thing.
Yeah.
For that house.
Oh, absolutely. I would love to see who lives there right now.
I know. Should we do a drive-by?
We honestly should.
Check in.
I'm probably still getting random or
packages
they were
there?
getting PR packages, I would say. Yeah, definitely. Because we were getting their mail when we lived there. So
it was a really fun house though.
It was
lots
fun.
of parties.
Did you come to our parties?
Yeah.
Did you come to the CEO and Office House? I feel like you were there.
Probably.
We had like Christmas parties.
Yes. So much of that year of my life is just such a blur. It was it was a wild year. I'm like, yeah, I think so. It was really fun though.
It was really fun, and those were like our college equivalent years. I mean, they were our college years. I was going to college, but I didn't have the actual like Greek life sort of vibe. So that was
that at FIDM?
I know, like, right? Like alpha, whatever the hell. But no. So those were some good years. Also, I remember like partying in your downtown apartment a lot as well.
God, yeah. There's a lot happening there.
Fun. And we never really like went anywhere afterwards. We kind of just like went to your place.
We wouldn't even go out. It would be like, it wasn't even a pregame. It was like in my, are you talking about my one bedroom or when I had roommates? Okay, so my one bedroom apartment downtown, I passed it the other day.
No way.
And I was thinking about this. I was probably like 19, 20 living in this place. I had 27 people on the guest list who regularly came over.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just like, oh, one person's been like, that's how often. It was a one bedroom apartment downtown LA.
Yeah.
And we had parties there.
All the time. I remember the balcony. I remember your puppy. Is it Coco?
Yeah, Coco.
Yeah, those were some good nights though.
Those were really fun.
We had a lot of fun.
Oh my God. Wow. Okay, I want to talk about your life growing up pre-FIDM.
Okay.
What was your childhood like?
My childhood was honestly incredible. Like, I really feel like I lived this like I feel like I lived like I had like a Hannah Montana moment. Like I had my pre-LA and then my LA, and both feel like absolute dreams, honestly. Like I grew up in a really small town in Canada, in Newfoundland on an island, and it was just like wholesome East Coast vibes. Like me and my family, I have 3 older brothers, and we just like spent so much time outside with our cousins and whatever. Obviously, you know, I grew up and identified as straight, and like, you know, moving to LA and like becoming the person I have now, like I'm very open about my sexuality, and that was like a struggle. But other than that, like I just am so grateful living in LA now to have like being able to look back on that and like have a sense of reality that isn't this life, if that makes any sense. Because a lot of my friends are, you know, born and raised here, and I feel like they've never seen snow. They've never seen like,
or had a sense of normal.
Yeah, so I'm just grateful that I've had that and can like always like look back on that and like, you know, understand real life.
When did you come out?
I came out literally the second I stepped off the plane to move to LA. I mean, I came out to my family before then, but like to the world was, like right when I stepped off the plane, I was like, I'm going to be myself. Like I'm moving to another country. Like, here's my moment, like
your moment to shine.
And I remember the first day of class in FIDM, my friend, well, not my friend, but just a kid who I met was like, are you gay? And I was like, oh my God, this is like the moment. Holy fuck. And I was like, oh my God, wait, can I curse?
Yeah.
Okay. And I was like, and I was so like not confident about my answer, but I was like, yeah. And then like ever since then I was like, oh my God, I can do this. Like, and they didn't care. I mean, I went to a fashion school, so it was primarily like girls and gays, but yeah.
That's really sweet though.
Yeah.
What made you want to go to FIDM?
Honestly, the hills.
That's everyone's answer.
Yeah, and that's like such a sad reason to want to go to a school, but
no, I think it makes sense. I understand. It makes
sense. And like I obviously like my main passion is music, but I'm just a creative person, so fashion just felt like something that was a little bit more like achievable or attainable. Like, how am I just gonna like wake up one morning and like become Rihanna? Like that to me made no sense. So I was like, okay, like I'll move to LA, I'll do like the fashion thing, and if music ever like falls into my lap, then, you know, that'll be cool. But that was never really my intention. So I watched The Hills and I was like, that looks really sick. It was the only school I applied to. I got accepted.
That's another thing about FIDM kids. It's the only school they apply to.
I hope like no one from FIDM's listening, but like you guys need to like figure it out, girl.
Are you saying look elsewhere?
Yeah, I just like for me, I don't think it was the best. I don't know, but
no, I can say because I didn't go. I was going. That was my plan. I ended up going to a different school. Well, because I came out here. I was my senior, my first year here. Back in my USC days, do you remember that when I was? Oh yeah,
I remember.
You know what my favorite story of Ricky Thompson is?
Uh-oh.
I was dating this guy my first year living in LA. He went to USC. I broke up with him 17 times. Finally, and it wasn't even dramatic. I just didn't want to be with him, and he wouldn't leave me alone.
I think I remember this guy.
Yeah, I didn't like him ever. That's the thing. And I remember I was out, and I ran into Ricky, and Ricky and I were hanging out, and he goes, "Girl," he goes, "You never liked him anyways." And I was like, "I know, I really didn't."
He could tell his intuition.
He could tell, and that was probably the second time. I think the first time we talked about it, he said break up with him, and I probably had just already had done it.
Moral of the story is always listen to Ricky Thompson.
Always listen to Ricky Thompson. But anyways, back to FIDM. I didn't end up going to FIDM. I got lucky though because I was here before I would have actually gone.
So you got to see.
So I got to see, and I had heard enough. I have one friend out of probably 20 to 25 friends who like thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah. Actually, Emily, I think if you talk to her,
2 friends then.
She says that she was really happy about her experience there. And like, not that I didn't like it, because if I didn't go there, I wouldn't be like doing what I'm doing today. I don't think at all. But I just wasn't passionate enough about fashion for me to like go to a fashion school. So like,
it's a really specific choice at a young age too.
Exactly. Yeah. And also half the reason why I like stayed going there was because I wanted to stay in the States. So like my visa I had to be going to school to like have my visa. So I was like, I'm gonna just finish this and like live my little fantasy world. And yeah, I'm glad I did. So
yeah. Wow. Throwback to FIDM days.
It's really crazy.
Oh my God. I want to talk about you starting music too.
Yeah.
Because when I first met you, I don't think that's something I knew about you.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. And then you started releasing music, and I think you could do anything, and every single person around you would be like, perfect, angel, amazing. Like, you can't really fail. How did you decide to actually like take it seriously?
It's weird because I don't think there was really like a day where I was like, I'm gonna do this. It was always like something that I wanted to do. I grew up singing and writing songs, but never thought, I mean, I said I'm from a really small place in the world where, you know, no one really chooses like creative industries to go in. So I never thought it was gonna be a possibility for me. So I think it was like my first like real like gay heartbreak. I was like, oh my God. And it just really drove me to like write a song. So I wrote a song, and I don't know if you remember Maddie Bragg's ex-boyfriend, Jacob.
Oh my God, yes. Yes, this is all coming back.
And shout out Maddie.
Yeah.
But I wrote this like stupid song called Peach Arizona on my piano, and I just sent it to him. Yeah, because he at the time was just like making music in his bedroom, and he was the only person who I knew who knew how to like work the software. So I sent it to him, and he like produced it out, and then I was on YouTube at the time, so I had a small platform, but you know, there was some people who were watching me, and I was just like, fuck it, let's put it on SoundCloud. And then that like, just like the response was so positive that I was like, what am I doing making these like weird vlog videos that I don't feel like represent me that well, when this music is something I'm really passionate about, and clearly it's connecting with people. And that was like the moment where I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop making videos, and I'm gonna really dive into this music thing, and release a bunch of songs. And then I started like, you know, meeting with like professionals, I guess, in the industry who like were able to get me in rooms with like actual producers and actual songwriters. And then I started like songwriting for real. So yeah, it was honestly like really crazy how it happened. And I don't think SoundCloud's even really a thing anymore like that for people, but yeah,
it really popped off.
It popped. Really, I mean, it was cute. It was a cute little like moment. It definitely didn't like pop off, but it was enough to like get in the hands of the right people. And yeah.
Okay, so what are some of your favorite songs that you have written on? Even it doesn't even have to be just your own.
Okay. I mean, writing with Olivia O'Brien, my best friend. You've met her, obviously. Yeah. Any song that we write together is like, obviously I'm obsessed with, but I really like a song on her new project actually called Call Mom. That was a really cool session.
It's so crazy now because when I'm like home and people are at parties, like Olivia is like the first to be played.
Dude,
I'm like, it's so crazy.
I like am so like happy to see how far she's come, because she's really like an established artist now. Like people like play her shit, and like
people don't even know that I Hate You I Love You is hers. Like that's the first thing I say when I'm talking about it. They're like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, it's the same girl.
Yeah.
Like,
and now it's like Jocelyn and like all this new shit that she's been dropping. So
I have a really funny story about that. I'll tell you later.
Everyone
has a funny story about that song. Yeah.
She's just like, I love her. She's so fun to write for. So it's kind of like hard to pick a favorite song, but just like writing for her in general or with her is just like such an easy experience because we're both very like similar people in the way we respond to like heartbreak specifically. So we can just go in a session and we already know what's going on in each other's lives. So it's really easy just to be like, okay, let's write about like that situation and just, you know, make it a thing. But on her new project, there's a song called Call Mom that like is really special. And
it's really, really good.
Yeah. That's probably my favorite.
Do you feel like you always have to be heartbroken to write a song?
Yes.
See, I feel like it would be so bad for me mentally because it's like whenever it's, I don't know, I'm not a songwriter, but I feel like the best songs come from when you're sad.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, I don't know, no matter like, I can write songs obviously, and I do write songs when I'm in a good place, but for me, writing music is like therapy, like getting something off my chest. And when I'm happy, I don't have that like drive to go create because it's like I'm happy, like I want to go out with my friends and like enjoy the sunshine or whatever. So definitely like it's kind of a toxic like pattern to like be in, and I'm trying to like break that. Obviously the last year creating has been just difficult for everybody, obviously because of the pandemic. So I haven't been able to like flex that muscle as much as I'd like to. But now things are back and going, and I'm just like writing like, you know, every couple of days. So that's good. But it's hard. But like when you are heartbroken, it's kind of fire because you're like, okay, this sucks. But like I'm able to like do something that I'm so in love with to like get my mind.
And you'll be so proud of.
And like.
And make money.
And it's like, thank you.
Yeah, literally.
Like,
thanks for the check.
Literally. Like, I don't know. Like, do you feel that way about like making videos or like podcasting or like.
Certain points. I have this thing where I wish that I could be a songwriter. I have so much material. Like I have so
I'm sure you do.
much.
Yeah.
But when it comes to other things, like I'm really, because it's totally different than writing a song, like even talking about things like publicly, I'm really private about. Like even like I dated someone that like was completely off the internet, and like we have the same friends. I wouldn't, you know what I mean? So it's like annoying. But I wish like if I was a songwriter, I'd be like, I don't care. I have a lot to say.
You should interview an ex on this podcast. Probably.
I should. I actually really
I just
should.
feel like that'd be an entertaining like episode.
I have
to, like,
one
look
that
back.
would be funny.
Yeah.
But like I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah. I mean, I would never.
It would be like such a commitment to like even have an hour there. You
It's
know?
like those YouTube videos. I forget like what they're called, but when like you and your ex like sit down and you take shots, like that is actually my dream come true.
Wait,
like,
a truth or drink? Or no, it's like they're produced.
The Cut? Is that what it's called? The Cut?
It's produced.
It's produced.
The white background.
Yes, the white background. I don't know why that's like my fantasy to like go on that with my ex, because you just get like the realty that like no one, you get the answers to questions that everyone has after a breakup that no one really actually gets.
No one wants to say. I really should consider that.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be
set
that
that
bad.
up.
I know, I should set that up. I mean, if anything, for the views.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, come on, hello. What is like a day in your life now?
A day in my life now. Well, I wake up and I have like a really like strict morning routine. Like,
oh, I love that. Go, please share.
Okay, so
details.
I wake up at like a cute 8 a.m.
Love that.
My alarm goes off and I run to my kitchen and I drink celery juice. I take my probiotic.
Do you make your celery or do you buy it?
No, I buy it.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm
too
doing.
lazy.
No, also the cleanup. Don't even get me started on
the cleanup, and then like I feel like it just like gets weird if you like save it for like a day or two.
Yeah.
So I buy like the stuff from Trader Joe's, Suja or whatever. And then I usually go to training with my trainer, who I work out with my friends, which is like fun because it's like social, but also like I'm really into working out right now. Like I really, really love that, and like I feel like you're the same way.
I love working out. Yeah.
Like a day that I didn't work out today, and like I needed it. I needed a break, but I could like
I'm
wanted
more focused,
to. I'm just like I feel more clear and motivated, I guess. So I work out, and then I'll come home, make breakfast really quick, and then I'll do my like gua sha. I love my skincare. Like that is
What is
major
your
for
favorite
me.
skincare?
I love Drumaq Elephant's Marula oil.
Yes, the yellow
Do you use
one.
that too?
Yeah, I did for years. I haven't recently, but I love that stuff.
I have like really oily skin, or so I thought. So I was using all these products like my entire life that were like oil free, oil preventing, oil blocking, and now that I use oils, like my skin has responded so well, and like
You know who I learned that from?
Who?
Lauren Elizabeth.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure honestly I probably did too, because
Yeah.
I just like trust her, like
Everything she says.
yeah, like she just has the best taste in like those types of things. So my like I don't get like oily.
It's so weird. It's opposite of what you would think.
Yeah, I'm like, why did it take me 25 years to figure this out? Also, I was one of those kids who used Proactive when I was like 12. I didn't even have acne. Like, what? Am I okay?
You saw the commercials. You said, I have to have it.
Yeah, no, exactly. Which is so silly. But so basically, I'll like, make my breakfast, and then I'll typically go to like a session or something, which is, it's different every day, which is really cool. I meet a lot of just sick people.
Who's like your favorite person you've ever met?
In a session?
Yeah.
Well, this is like really, really old. Like I haven't worked with them in a long time, but I worked with these producers called Stargate, and they have produced like Rihanna, Lady Gaga, like all these like people that I like grew up listening to.
That's
and they
crazy.
were, and like, growing up, you don't really like look at the credits of stuff, but they were somebody who like I knew. So like I was like, this is really cool.
Look at
like
me
how
go.
the fuck did I end up in this room with this person? But like I remember somebody told me once, like no matter what room you end up in, like you're both there for a reason, and to not like feel like scared or like feel like you're not worthy or anything.
Yeah.
Like, you're
Wait,
both
let's
there.
dive into that.
Yeah,
Because that's like
I'd love to.
imposter syndrome.
Which
right?
girl I have.
Okay, so how do you work through that? Because you are you're surrounded by it all the time. So
yeah,
how
absolutely.
do you work through that?
It's hard. It's really hard. And like I don't think I've mastered it at all. I think it's just like that sentiment of just being like, okay, we're both in the same place. Like there has to be a reason for that. And just like finding confidence in what you bring to the table. Like I really feel like good people attract good people, and talented people attract talented people, like, whatever. So I think if you just like kind of relay that, like that sort of message to yourself over and over again, it's like the only way to battle through it. But it's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel that also?
Yeah, it depends on where I'm at in my life, like emotionally. I think like
yes.
There's certain times where I'm really confident, and there's other
Yes.
times where I'm like, oh my god, why? Or even some like emails that I've been getting recently, especially today. I got some like crazy thing, and I was like, that's so weird. Like, why?
Yeah.
But it's also, then you forget like, oh, you've also been working for so long, and
Right.
like that. It's also, I think like a certain level to it is probably healthy. I don't think insecurity is healthy. I think maybe the like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. But it's also important to know that pretty much everyone across the board will struggle with it at some point. And if they
Right.
don't, they're probably lying to you,
Yes, absolutely.
So I think that's really important.
Yeah, I definitely feel like also growing up, you have this idea in your head of like, when an opportunity is going to come to me, like I'm going to be in such a like better place in my life and have all these things. And I think like what I'm realizing right now is that like we're all like just, trying to figure it out at the end of the day. I don't think anyone really knows what they're doing.
No, I don't think anyone does.
So when, you get that email from like a brand that you fucking love, or like a designer or whatever the fuck it is, that you're like, am I even like worthy of this? It's like, you actually are. And that's why they fuck with you, because you are on your way up and you're doing the right things and you are where you're meant to be. So yeah, just trying to fucking focus on that.
Yeah, it can be really hard, but I think it's almost like a muscle. You have to like constantly exercise it. Like it's not really something that you just one day get and you have it forever. And hopefully, I mean, honestly, at the same time, it's kind of like a sign that you're moving up.
Yeah.
At the same time, because if you're not a little bit nervous or a little bit like, oh, what's happening, then you're probably just like comfortable and
Yeah, my
staying in the same
dad
place.
always says like, if you're nervous, that's a really good thing. Like you want to be nervous always.
Yeah.
And actually, that's something I look for in people I date too. If I'm like not
I was
like,
just about to say it's like dating.
it's like if I'm not like terrified of you, it's not gonna work for me.
Yeah, I was like so almost anxious in something a few months ago, and I was like, okay, maybe this is a bad sign. I'm like, actually, I think that maybe it's a good sign that I'm like freaked out about this, rather, because that means I care, you know?
Exactly.
Not that I'm like, I don't want like anxiety with it, but I was just like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think that shows that you care at the same time.
Absolutely. And I feel like if you're not having that feeling enough in your life, then you need to do something and
change it up.
Spice
it up.
Yeah, like put yourself in a weird situation, like hang out with that friend that you keep saying you're going to, that like you kind of know in the back of your head you're never going to. You know what I mean?
Like, let's hang. We never do it.
Yeah. I actually took my first pole dancing class.
Oh my God, how was it?
On Monday.
Was it fun?
It was so fun. Okay. I was terrified.
I hear great things.
Yeah, it's really hard.
There's a place like literally down the street from my house in Texas.
Really?
Yeah.
You should go.
I need to go.
And like also like it's something that like me and all my friends were always like, let's do it. And one day I was like, fuck all of you guys. I'm just gonna sign up by myself and do it because I can't coordinate with everyone's schedules. This is something I need to do for myself. So I am like driving there, called Emily actually. I was like, oh my God, like I was like really excited about this, but now I'm like really scared. Like I just think I'm gonna be like really awkward in this room with like a bunch of people who like, you know, like are what you'd expect to be there sort of thing. And I got there and everyone was like so friendly and also nervous and just like beginners. And it was just such a cool like experience and I'm really glad I did.
It's really cool.
So
I love that you like went by yourself too.
Yeah, that's been my vibe lately. Like I'm like,
that's a confidence builder too.
Yeah, because also I feel like you're probably the same way. I perform way better when I'm like by myself in a new situation. Like something
you
turns
can't lean on people around you. So I'm like star of the show.
Yeah, exactly. And I need that more. So I've been like trying to, whether it's like traveling somewhere by myself or like putting myself in a class or a situation like that, like that's my vibe.
Speaking of friends, how have you made good friendships? I think I get asked that all the time because there's a lot of people in their 20s who are like moving to new cities and things. You literally moved to another country.
Yeah. Didn't know one person.
Yeah. So what are your tips for making friends?
At the end of the day, just be nice, like a good person. That's what my brother Brett always says, because he's like my brother that I go to and I'm like going through something and he's just like, Drew, like as long as you're just like a good person and you're making decisions with good intentions and you're nice, like literally no one can ever, you know, do like say anything bad about you. And that's just genuinely like how I try to live my life. So
and you are the nicest person. You really are.
Thank you. I feel like I was raised very well and you know, it's something I try to always do, but obviously there's a balance with that. You can't just like let people walk all over you. But
do you struggle with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm like friends with like very like dominant, like powerful, successful women, which I love so much. So it's definitely easy to like, you know, kind of fall back. And sometimes I like to like, you know, take the backseat a little bit. But making friends is like, I don't know, like how did you do it? Like you were in a similar situation. Obviously.
When I moved here, I knew some people though, because I knew a lot of people through YouTube, and Molly and I moved together, so that was helpful. I know, shout out Molly. But something that, and also most of my friends in Texas I've known for forever.
Right.
But any of the new friends that I've made, I really think you just have to meet one person and then they'll introduce you to someone and those people introduce you to people. Maybe the first or second people, they're not going to be your forever friends, but I think that's how you ultimately end up meeting people. But because the first person isn't someone that you see yourself being friends with forever, people just don't really make the effort. And I'm like, it's not that you're using them at all. It's just that you're going to meet people by by like going out and being social, you know, and it's really easy to like shut yourself down. Something I always say is like you have to have a friend, you have to be a friend. Yeah. So people will be like, oh my God, I have no friends, and sitting at home like crying. Yeah. And I'm like, but have you made any plans with anyone or like reached out? Effort? Right. Yeah. So I think a lot of that, and then here especially, I meet so many people honestly now through the show, but it's you meet so and so. I met Lindsay. I met everyone through that. Then I met, I don't even know if it was through Lindsay, but whoever it was at that time. Right. You really just have to meet one person and then they'll introduce you to people. It's not as intimidating, I think, as people can make it out to be if you look at it that way. Right. You know? It shouldn't be a scary thing. It should be like an exciting, like, wow, these are all like these new people that I get to, you know, like learn about. Yeah, and like, get to know. Exactly. Yeah. I feel like my like mantra for the past year has been go with the flow. I literally have it tattooed on my knuckles, flow. Because I feel like it's really easy for me to like
stay in. I'm a Cancer. I'm an introvert at heart. I think people would disagree with me, but
no, I see that for you.
Yeah, I like being in my space and just like chill, relax, whatever. And I find myself saying no to a lot of things, and I have to constantly remind myself like, no, just do it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, at the end of the day, you're gonna leave a situation with a story, and like that's enough of a reason for me to go somewhere and do something or try something new. So
I've even met people and we knew each other, we like maybe followed each other, whatever. It wasn't until a few years later that we really became good friends.
Absolutely.
You have no idea what's going to happen.
Literally.
So it's really
I can move
just
to
about
Texas next year.
You never know. The amount of people, by the way, who have actually, you really
Dude,
never
Texas
know.
is poppin'.
It's so fun. Okay, I want to talk about your YouTube obsession. Okay. I missed your YouTube channel. I understand you say it's not for you. It's fine. I'm not going to press you on that.
Yeah.
But I do want to hear about what vlogs do you watch? I know you're very passionate.
I am a passionate YouTube watcher.
Yes.
Like, it is my vice. Is that what they call it? My vice. I watch Miss Kenzie Elizabeth.
I'm honored. I had no idea.
Of course. I
when I found out Emily watched me like a year ago, I was like, really?
Yeah, no, me and Emily like love to FaceTime each other for hours and just like talk about everyone's lives. And not in a bad way, but just
no,
like,
it's never negative.
It's like, it's always just like, oh my God, did you see that? That's like so exciting or whatever.
I will talk to Emily and she'll ask me something about someone that's so specific. I'm like, how did you catch 5 seconds in that vlog of that? Like, she's tuned in.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, did you see Kenzie's new kitchen? Like, holy shit, like it's looking so good. The new couch.
That's actually how they talk though. Like, that's seriously, those are the conversations.
Like, fully. I like know too much about everybody. Maybe it's because I'm nosy. I don't know. Anyway, also I'm kind of realizing I think the YouTubers that I really love watching are people who don't live in my state or like are in this world. Because I think there was a moment in YouTube where it was like,
everyone lived here. Yeah.
I'm gonna move to LA. I'm gonna like try to become this like star and like try to make it into traditional media. And now I think there's this wave of YouTubers, which I think is so sick, where it's like, I'm gonna move bumfuck nowhere and just like have a normal, quote unquote, normal life. And I just think it's so sick. So I love watching you, my Texas girl, and then I love watching obviously Lindsay and Megan, and then Emily and Lexi and Maggie and Emma. Like, when you think about it, that's like basically the entire country that I just covered. Actually, and it's so interesting to me to just see like people's lives. I don't know. I love it. And also it probably is different because it's like I'm friends with you guys, so it's like my version of like keeping up with you.
I watch all my friends' vlogs.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's like you probably even like have more friends that are vlogging and whatever. So it's hard to keep up with though. Like, after a weekend of like not like touching my computer, I'll like go on and be like, oh my God,
there's
like
so many videos.
There's an Alicia vlog, there's a Kenzie vlog, there's a Maggie vlog. What the hell? Like, this is like 3 hours long, and people like I'm so embarrassed, but like I don't even fucking care. Like, people who I'm friends with, they like watch like Netflix. I'm like,
no, I don't watch shows. I read and I watch YouTube videos.
Yeah, I need to tap into reading a little bit more.
I'm like so into it.
I could get some recommendations from you.
I'm on almost book 50 of 2021. I'm literally psycho. It's also my personality type of like, I'm either obsessed and it's my whole life or nothing. Like, things that I like become my personality. Reading, Hot Pilates, Texas. You know?
Pilates.
Yeah, I was there today. It was such a good time.
Saw. How was it?
It was great. I mean, my favorite instructor isn't there anymore.
What's her name? Shannon?
Daylight. No, Shannon owns it.
Okay.
I don't even think Shannon's teaching right now, but yeah, I mean, I know the front desk, everyone. We keep up. We like talk. I literally came in, we hug, we catch up. I mean,
it's like a moment.
It is a moment.
Did they not have it in Texas? Or
no, I think.
Are you in Dallas?
I'm in Dallas. Okay. I think they're opening in LA. The thing is, like, yes, Hot Pilates is like a certain workout, but it's like the actual studio itself I love, and I miss Daylight. That's the thing. I'm like,
Daylight, where you at?
I don't quite know if it's gonna be the same for me now that she's not there. I work out with her still, and like we do Zoom stuff. Like, we're actually really good friends now. I was like, you live in LA, like, you just know so many people. I've never fangirled in my life. And then when Dayla, I think, like, replied to my Instagram story one day.
You're like,
yeah, and then she came on the show. Wow, and I just love her.
Circle.
Yeah, now we're like really good friends, but I was like obsessed with her. She played JoJo in my first class with her, and that's like my like Too Little Too Late, like my all-time
JoJo
favorite.
is my everything.
Yeah, I need JoJo and Dolly Parton, probably like my two dream guests at this point.
That makes sense for you.
Don't you see it?
I actually really see it.
There's like something.
I was dying because I was listening to your podcast like a couple days ago, and you were talking about this place called Billy Bob's, and I was like, what is her life?
No, okay. The worst
What
part
is Billy Bob's?
It is, okay, it's the largest dance hall. I say that in quotes. So it's
Okay.
a honky tonk, apparently, is what the real name is. I cannot make this up. You would actually love this place, though.
I'm sure I would.
Everyone, oh my God, it's so much fun. We took a party bus.
Yep.
We all went.
Yep.
And it was like some random country artist concert.
Love.
It was so much fun. It's literally like my favorite place to go. It's an
Okay.
hour from me.
Okay.
Yeah, and we need to do a Texas trip and go there.
I'm going to be
you would
in
obsessed.
Texas in November.
Oh wait, yeah.
Yeah.
It's right by my sister's birthday. She already texted me about it.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
You're on the list, baby.
Amazing.
And her.
Oh
And
my
then
God,
we'll
wait.
go to the honky tonk.
No, we should seriously go to Billy Bob's after. Do you have a day off, or are you leaving? You probably don't know this.
I don't know, but
We'll go after.
potentially, yeah.
Should we get a party bus?
We should get a party bus.
From whatever venue it is, and we'll go to Billy Bob's. We're actually doing that. Okay,
No, like,
perfect.
yes.
I have a Connect, so the bus is done.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect. I love this.
Dude, Billy Bob's.
You will die. You're gonna go and
Watch,
be
like,
it's
that's
so
where
much
the
fun.
show is.
Oh, there's like a bowl and everything.
Yes.
It's not like Saddle Ranch.
Please, no. I can't do that.
Do you remember? Let's talk about Saddle Ranch, actually.
Okay. Have we been together? I feel like we maybe have.
Probably because years ago, before it was like a big thing on TikTok,
Yes.
it was where you went when you were like, you had a long night and you were really like not fully
well.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we would go. Lindsay kind of went through a phase of it. It was always like random people like wanting to go.
Yeah.
But it wasn't popular at that point.
No.
No one really went to that. It was like a
Dude.
really random place to go.
It's like I mean, not for like people my age, but like it's like the spot. Like it's
so weird.
Poppin', like Hollywood Fix is
I was gonna say, they live there at this point.
They live there, and like there's the longest line. I'm like, there's so many other places.
There's so
with
many other places to go.
food
Honestly, the
that's
poor place. Like
good.
I know that's great and like a lot of business, but it
Yeah.
almost seems like it's too much.
It's too much
for them, you know?
Yeah, like walk down the street, girls.
Yeah,
or
like they're
guys,
busy.
whatever.
They're really busy.
Like it's not that good.
Yeah, like it's. I promise you, there's like other places.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like
exactly.
there's other things to do.
Like zing.
Yeah. I was there yesterday.
I know, I saw.
I love it there.
I
Oh,
do
by
too.
the way, did you know that their mules are wine based?
Yeah.
How did I miss that in
I know.
all the years living here? No one had ever told me, and I love their mules.
Yeah.
And then they told me it was wine based yesterday, and after I drank it, I was like, I could take a nap.
Yeah.
Placebo effect.
It kind of
They
makes
shouldn't
sense.
have told me that.
They shouldn't have told you. And actually, that's a reason why a lot of people who I'm friends with won't come with me
Go.
there, because they're like, there's no tequila.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well, I always thought it was tequila. And
yeah,
it's
because
just
the mule,
simply
it's like,
isn't.
isn't that what it is supposed to be?
Yeah. Okay. What? It's just like really upsetting when I think about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any, like, if you have an off day?
Yes.
This is the final question.
Lots of off days. So,
What are you doing? Who are you hanging out with? Where are you going?
okay, off day.
And what are you wearing? Let's start with the outfit.
Outfit, I literally wear a white beater. I like actually have like a cartoon character like costume. Like I wear
Sims character.
literally a white beater and then like jeans or shorts and Air Force Ones, and
Pretty much what I'm wearing right now, actually. Under
Yeah.
the blazer.
yeah, I like don't get dressed unless I'm like doing something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's what I'm wearing, and I usually will link up with like Sydney or Stas.
Yeah.
And we'll get our blue bottle. Mandatory blue bottle.
Mandatory.
And I don't know. I mean, honestly, like I'm friends with a lot of people who like to and have opportunities to do just like crazy things all the time. So we end up on a lot of party buses.
Yeah.
My friends love to host events.
Yeah.
So there's usually like a themed birthday party that we're like getting ready for, which is surprisingly a lot of stress.
No, themed, honestly, it really, when I hear things are themed, it gives me anxiety.
Like I went to a black tie like 2 weeks ago, and then I went to an early 2000s birthday party, which just sounds so silly. Like, why does that bring stress?
But it does.
It brings stress.
It really does.
Like you want to look good.
Yeah.
But honestly, like we just love like planning for stuff. So we like link up and just like have fun and, you know, do weird things. But we're also like so like, you know, normal and chill. But yeah. And a lot of dinners, a lot of food.
A lot of food.
Always
a lot
food.
of tequila.
A lot
lots
of
party
tequila,
buses.
lots of party buses.
Sounds like my life at this point.
I
Yeah,
know.
literally.
I mean, we're not going to Billy Bob's, but
Yeah, I mean, not yet.
not yet.
We're going to get some people involved in the Dallas trip. We're going to get people here.
Absolutely.
We'll be going there.
Yeah. I need a Texas man. Emily's been talking about them.
I tell Emily this all the time. Like, I could find you a Texas man.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm sure you could.
easily. They're literally running rampant. Like, they're also so much better. But anyways, you're going on tour too.
I'm going on tour.
Okay, so when does that start?
It technically starts end of August, but
Okay.
we're only doing 3 shows, and then there's a month break, and then November is the like run of like 20 something shows. So we'll be in Dallas.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's funny actually. You're like one of the last people I saw before the
No,
pandemic.
I think your show, you and Olivia's show, was the last thing I went to.
Yeah.
No, I went to Nashville and then I came back. That's what it was.
But like it was very like close to the whole.
So close.
Yeah.
I had just moved. I think I had just gotten there.
Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to come back.
I know. I can't wait. It's going to be a great time. The show, Billy Bob's, I'm looking forward to it.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so where can they find you?
On Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, drumaq, DRUMAQ, TikTok.
Oh my God. You've been killing it on TikTok, by the way.
Thank you.
Big
I'm
fan.
trying. It's really hard. But
it is hard, yeah.
Yeah.
I literally need to like hire someone. So I'm going to hire a Gen Z person and I am Gen Z, but like so they can tell me what to do.
Yes.
So then I'll be cool.
Yes.
You know?
Shout out to all the TikTokers because y'all are talented. Seriously, it's nuts.
Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I love you so much.
I love you.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Let's get into listener call-in. If you have a better jingle or name for that, please let me know. I might actually make... You know what I need to do? I need to make my friend Mark, one of my best friends who writes me raps. I need to make him make me make jingles. Why have I not thought about this? I will get on that. Okay.
Hi, Kenzie. So I just need some advice. I met this guy on vacation, and I live in LA, and he lives in Dallas. We really hit it off, and we hooked up and exchanged numbers, and have been talking every day since. I'm flying out to see him next week, and I'm really excited, but also nervous, because I don't know if this is like a one-time thing, or how to even navigate a long-distance relationship, if that's what it comes to. I don't want to get my hopes up, but I also don't want to, I don't know, I just want to be prepared for whatever happens. Do you have any advice on doing long-distance relationship, or even just how to make the most out of a trip, even if we decide to not see each other ever again? I just need some advice, and I love you so much, and thank you for your podcast. It literally is the highlight of my week. Bye.
Okay. First off, that is so exciting. It's even more exciting that he's from Dallas, because let me tell you, the men in Texas are much, much, much better. Okay. So there's a few things. The first thing I do want to say is, let's say this goes poorly. And I'm not saying that it will. I am just saying, as a backup, in all seriousness, join our Geneva Dallas Girls group chat, because if it does go bad, we've got your back and we'll figure something out. Anyways, I think you just need to go into this with an open mind, but you need to be upfront about what you want. I'll say people meet on vacation all the time and they text and whatever, but they don't keep up this much, talk every day, and then go visit each other. So I do think that that's a good sign. But I do think both of you need to be very upfront about your intentions and what you want. I think you need to go into this weekend and you need to have a lot of fun. But you both definitely at this point need to have a conversation about your intentions and like what you guys want with the relationship, whether it's, you know, long distance or it's just like this was just a fling or whatever that might be. I would definitely have that conversation though. I don't know at what point, you know, I'm not a pro, but I would have that conversation. On the topic of long distance relationships, I've done a long distance relationship and they are hard, but personally, I don't know, it depends on how serious you are about them. I actually kind of enjoyed having a long distance relationship, and I don't know if that's like a selfish thing because they didn't, you know, mess up my day to day and it gave you something to look forward to. You can travel. There's a lot of things that you get to do in a long distance relationship that you don't necessarily get to do in just a normal one. So there are definitely other pros, but you need to really think long and hard on if you want a long distance relationship, and you guys both need to be very upfront. But okay, I think you need to go into this weekend with an open mind and don't put too much pressure on it to ruin it, but definitely communicate what you want. But yeah, best of luck. Join our group chat and tell us how it went. I really need updates. All right, guys, I love you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast episode. As always, you can find us on YouTube, anywhere podcasts are found, Instagram, TikTok, all of that. I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to y'all on, oh my God, I said I'll talk to y'all. Howdy, everyone. I will talk to y'all next Thursday. Okay.
And so we kind of always had just like naturally gravitated towards fashion, and we were just iterating on different ideas. And literally on a Wednesday night, I texted off and I was like, okay, we just have to start activewear. We were both actually doing some freelance work for a woman who's, you know, really well versed in the production merchandising industry.